Mississippi. There was a picture of my family there earlier. I'm a mom of 3, and I've watched this week as these people have come out here and been so eloquent and poised, and I have compared myself. And what I have learned from comparison is it either leaves you with an ego or it leaves you feeling inadequate. And neither of those things are good, but I've been feeling inadequate as I've prepared for this. And I want to tell you that if you felt that way too, if you've looked at people on this stage, I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, you can too. So get ready, guys. I wish that I was coming here with some magical tip that you've never heard before, but what my success looks like is a bunch of habits, and that starts with an accountability sheet. I didn't come up with this. My amazing mentors, Ashley, Olive, and Aaron Clark did. So all of the good stuff I'm about to tell you came from them. Any mistakes I made came from me. So what my first thing on the accountability sheet is to add names to my contact list. I have been here 4 years, and I know there is still people in my warm market I have not reached out to. The memory jogger is such a great place to start to get your mind thinking of people that you haven't reached out to, or people that you haven't thought of. And then I'm constantly adding new people to my contact list as well. I was the room mom this year for all 3 of my kids' classes. And then the busiest week of school, I said, sorry, going to convention. So I might not be the room mom again next year, but in the meantime, I added all those moms to my contact list. When I'm working out at the gym, I'm making friends with those people and adding them to my contact list. As my kids are on sports teams, I'm friending those moms and adding them to my contact list. So whatever you do, when you're going to church, you're constantly interacting with people and adding those names to your contact list. Next is making approaches and setting appointments. I know that the saying here goes, whoever has the most directors wins, but I think a prerequisite to that is also whoever shows the most overviews wins. I have found such great success from that, and I know it is going to revolutionize our business if we use it appropriately. It says on here we're going to set 5 approaches and make 5 appointments. Sometimes it takes a lot more than 5 approaches to get those appointments made, but that's a good guide. Next, we're going to connect with 4 people that we want to earn the right to approach. We're not going to say for the first time we meet them, well, have you heard of Melaleuca? We're going to build that trust. We're going to build that relationship. We're going to get to know them and care about them as people. Ashley Olive always tells me we're professional friend makers. And so we want to be their friend before we ever make the approach. On the flip side of that, Sandy Colvez has told me you don't have to have their social security number before you approach them about Melaleuca. So you have to find that balance there where you know that you're comfortable. Next, we are going to follow up with 8 people. I hate the term, they ghosted me. People are not ghosting you, they are busy. And one thing I've noticed as everyone has spoke this week is how many people said no the first time? How many people said no the second time, the third time, the fourth time? And what if that person that you were reaching out to, it's that next one that they were going to say yes? The fortune truly is in the follow-up, and these people that you're following up with, they matter enough for you to keep doing it. Next, we're going to post on social media and do our stories. I am absolutely the most comfortable in my stories. I love to share what I'm using throughout the day, talk about what I'm doing. That is my comfort zone. I'm not as good at posting on my wall, but I'm working on it. And I'm always told that if you do that, it makes it easier on you in the back end when you do go and make those approaches. Next is self-development. I view myself as a positive Patty. I always think, I look at the glass half full, so I don't need personal development. But what I have realized is it is not about being a positive person. It's about developing into the leader that you need to be and the person that you need to be. I found that it is not the hustle that most people cannot handle. It is the self-doubt that creeps in on the quiet days. If you can conquer that, the rest is just work. Henry Ford says that if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I have found that to be so true in my life. Next, we're going to check on our customers. because we want them to love the products. We want them to be so glad that they enroll with us, that they trusted us, and we want them to know that we care about them beyond getting that enrollment. I asked them what products they're loving this month. I love that the new app tells us that their birthdays and their anniversaries, so we can show that extra appreciation. And I also love to let them know this month's incentives. One of the things that is so crazy to me is how some people won't work for a $200 fast incentive bonus, pay center bonus, but they will call everyone they know for a toaster oven. So make sure that you're telling them what the incentives are. You never know what it's going to be to make them get going. For me, doing these accountability sheets makes a huge difference in my business. If I judge my success each day on how many people said yes to me, there will be days where I was pretty defeated. But if I judge my day's success by completing this sheet, I know that these small habits have so much potential to fulfill this business and what we can do here. The book, The 12-Week Year, says the most important actions are often the uncomfortable ones. The number one thing you'll have to sacrifice to be great, achieve what you're capable of, and to execute your plans is your comfort. The secret to living life to your potential is to value the important stuff above your own comfort. For me, that's doing the accountability sheet. There's things I always do last. But when I'm really trying to be good, I do the things I don't want to do first. And that's where I found the success. And I write my accountability sheet down. I have found that you are 60 to 80% more likely to execute a plan if it is written down on paper. So I really do hope you're writing down in your Grow Your Legacy packets that they gave us. If you don't have time to do it here, when you do it on your way home, it really is impactful. I try to focus on my actions more than the results. Outcomes are driven by actions, and the process is less about end results and more about the daily actions. On every single strategy session I do, I tell them that I want long-term consistency more than I want short-term intensity. This business can often be one of delayed satisfaction. In the book Atomic Habits, it says, your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating and exercise habits. Your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. For me, my business success is often a lagging measure of the consistency of me filling out my accountability sheets. Because it does not matter what you do occasionally, it matters what you do consistently. And consistency breeds confidence. These sheets are designed to be done in 1 hour a day. If you're wanting to do your business at a higher speed, you can do more than one a day. The more you do them in a week, the more success you will have. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. You can spend 60 of those trying to get to your dreams. Because you do not get what you wish for, you get what you work for. These are 4 questions to ask yourself daily. What am I grateful for? Do you know that it is impossible to be grateful and to be upset at the same time? This company has given me a purpose outside of being a wife and a mom, which are obviously my most important purposes. But I do have a deep desire to be a good steward of the gift of Mom Luca. Both the products that have truly changed our lives and the business that has changed my life and the lives of so many others. People do not get hurt here, and I am grateful for that. How can I make today great? For me, I feel great in my business when I do complete that accountability sheet because I'm doing what I committed to do. I don't want to just be busy, I want to be productive. And to become great, I have to live with intention. I believe your character is your calling, and who you are while you do what you do is far more important than what you do. We have a noble mission that I want to be a good steward of. Who do I want to be today? I want to be grateful, I want to be proud, and I want to be full of integrity. I want to have character, but I also want to be committed. My dad always said growing up, are you interested or are you committed? Because you act different when you're committed than when you're interested. You will not get results until you stop making excuses and you commit. You have to act on commitments, not your feelings. Everybody has the ability to be great. You are so worthy. The difference is the discipline to do the action to get there. You have got to be intentional. How am I enhancing lives? I truly believe I enhance lives when I share about the products in the business. I've already said I want to be a good steward of Melaleuca because it is a gift, but also because if I don't show them something safe, somebody is going to show them something that's not. And I mean that about safe products and safe businesses. We have the answer. I love that our mission statement is to enhance lives. If you live that mission statement, your business will grow. As I have thought about my business and growing my legacy this week, I keep thinking about this Christian song that I grew up listening to called Legacy. The chorus says, I want to leave a legacy. How will they remember me? Did I choose to love? Did I point to you enough to leave a mark on things? I want to leave the legacy of an offering as a child of mercy and grace who has blessed your name unapologetically. I want to leave that kind of legacy. And I could not found this stage without telling you that is the number one most important legacy that I want to leave. But secondly, I want to leave a legacy for my kids. One like Mom and Dad, where her kids know that she adores them, supports them, and goes to the ends of the earth for them. I want to leave a legacy for my team, that I have joy in leading them. That what I do doesn't feel like work because I love them and I love it so much. And that I will always be their loudest cheerleader. And I want to leave a legacy for everyone in this room that I don't even know yet. I never knew Jeff Miller, but his legacy has really impacted me. So I don't know how to leave that kind of legacy yet, but I can promise you that I will be clapping for each and every one of you every time you're on this stage. And as you're sitting in the seats. And I will clap until my arms fall off, which there's been many times this week that I thought they might because there's been so much celebrating. Congratulations. I'm very happy for all of you. Another habit that I truly believe is so important that we don't talk about enough is how often you use these products in your everyday life. Of course, we all use the products and we love them, but have you converted your entire home? Not just the cleaning products, but trying the skincare, the makeup. If we have the product in Melaleuca, that is exclusively what I use. You will not catch me with a Chanel lip gloss in my purse. I will be exclusively using Say Bella. I have some pictures here from around my house where you can see my bathroom counter, which is exclusively Say Bella. When people are in the guest bathroom at my house, we have candles, we have plugins, we have soap. They have all the options to know we are an exclusive Melaleuca household. Next, you can see that I have a little bag there with all the stuff in front of it. That's for the baseball games because I want these baseball moms to see what we have to offer. Because if you need sunscreen, I've got it. If you need a first aid kit, I've got that too. Latex-free Band-Aids, yes. You think your kid needs Powerade? No, they don't. They mix the same. Here you go. All of my kids are potty trained, but I have those baby wipes because all these siblings always want to snow cone. I don't care if it's 10 degrees. Can we have snow cone? And then there's sticky fingers. And I'm like, baby wipes, I got you. Another thing that I have not shared with anyone yet that I was talking to my husband about last night is I was hospitalized when I was 7 years old because I could not breathe and they diagnosed me with severe asthma. And I have, with my entire life, had an inhaler within reach everywhere I've gone since I was 7 years old. And the last time I went to my asthma doctor, we had to do these tests. They're called the peak flow test, and they test your lungs. And he said, this is the best your lungs have ever been since you have been coming to this doctor. What we have is powerful, and it makes a difference. I love this quote about momentum. Momentum is ignited by vision, activated by faith, supported by systems, and sustained by grit. Eric Clark always tells us there is no problem in your business that you cannot enroll your way out of, and that action breeds confidence. If you feel like you are out of momentum, and trust me, there has been times I have felt that, you cannot dwell on the past, but you can use it to motivate you for your future. My son's baseball team is 17-0. I'm sorry, 0-17. Last Sunday, He gets up to bat. We have 2 outs. We have 0 runs. And I'm a nervous Nelly. He hits a drive straight to shortstop, and it should have been an easy out at first, but first baseman misses the ball. And my son gets on first, and there was a runner that got in, and we were going ball. I mean, when I say we were 0-17, I mean like we've barely scored any runs all year long. But when my son got on first, a run came in. Everyone started chanting, RBI, RBI. I mean, it was precious. They're 10 years old. It's the cutest thing ever. They were so excited. We were down by like 12, but they were so happy we got that run. And so the next batter gets up. I mean, and when I say that we have no runs, I'm talking we have no hits. These kids have had no hits all year. The next batter gets up, and he makes a hit. My son progresses. The next batter gets up. They progress. We scored 7 runs that inning with 2 outs. 2 outs. It was crazy the momentum we had. It was amazing just because of one really great play that got everyone really excited and the encouragement from the crowd. This story would be better if I could tell you we won the game. We didn't. But yes, we're the opposite of undefeated. But I'm not going to call it defeated because they didn't advance in the tournament that day. They were out. But they did advance around the bases that day. And just like Martine says, you don't have to have an advancement to be advancing your business. 2 years ago, yesterday, I left convention and I decided to be really, really brave. I had felt like there was no momentum in my business, and I was so inspired by convention. Something had been laid on my heart, and I decided it was the time. So I messaged a girl on the playground home. She makes a joke that it took her 20 minutes to read the message. She should read faster, but anyways. Yesterday she celebrated her 2-year anniversary here. I can't look at her, so I'll start crying, but her name is Morgan Martin, and she's one of my dearest friends. She advanced to Executive Director 6 in her very first year. As I was talking to her yesterday, she said, I used to say I've been sitting at Executive Director 6 for the past year, but I'm not going to say that anymore. I realized I've been growing at Executive 6 for the last year. And I really love that perspective. I thought that was so wise. And I can't wait to see her walk the stage as the National Director next year. There's someone in your life that needs this, that you need to message on the playground home. And I hope that next year you'll come find me and say, this is the one. This is the one that you made me think of. And they're here with me now. I summarize what I think is the 6 most important things or habits that lead to success. And the first is being disciplined. You will not always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. When I think about growing my legacy, discipline is one of the words that I want people to remember me by. Among other things, I want my kids to think of me as someone who helped others, who was consistent, who prioritized people over possessions, who prioritize character over accolades. But here, if we prioritize those things, the awards and the accolades and the income, they follow naturally. But what I am most proud of is work and dedication. It is important to me that my kids and my team see me as someone who is disciplined, because the more disciplined you are, the more lives that you enhance. Next is being organized. This is something I'm working on. This grow app is going to help me though. Did y'all know that you can import your contacts and then you can put them in just these really cool categories like potential, in progress, overview scene, member, new contact. I love this. And then you can easily filter it to send the messages to those people. It's revolutionary. There's so many things that I'm super excited about, but that's just one I wanted to touch on. This helps us all get organized and be intentional with our invites and follow-ups, and it is going to increase our efficiency, which we all need. Next is being passionate. Commitment is not a word, it is an act. It is not about what you feel, it is about what you do. Darren didn't even tell me he was going to say that. Well, he did, like right before, but I can't believe it. I love Melaleuca. I am passionate about what I do. I am passionate about what we have to offer. I love the products. I love what they have done for my family. I love what they have done for the people in my life. I love this business. I love that I can look at someone and say, you can do what I have done here. I love that this opportunity is the same for someone that is brand new. And because I am so passionate about Melaleuca, it gives me posture. And I think that makes a huge difference. Next is having accountability, which Partner is the perfect time for that. They hold us accountable by adding the names to our contact list, making the approaches, showing the overview. If you make a commitment to doing that, at the end will you not have only earned a trip, but you will have cultivated daily habits for success and propelled your business forward into momentum. Talking daily is the key. I didn't pull the exact number, but I think I enrolled 0 directors from the time Fast Track ended Partner Up ended last time until Fast Track started. I really wish I would have gotten the exact stats, but during Fast Track, I have 2 people that signed up brand new that advanced to Director 5. I think 3 Director 3s and maybe 5 directors. And I credit that to our Fast Track team, which is amazing. We all earned the trip. We had add-ons earn the trip. And what these trips and these accountabilities of Fast Track and Partner Up can do for your business is incredible. The trip is just an icing on the cake. Next is being plugged in, staying close to the fire. I already saw there's power hours next week about the Grow app, all this fun stuff. Get on that. All of these things that corporate offers for us. We have an EDP meeting at the end of the month, convention. I hope you've already registered these national power hours. Staying close to the fire keeps you warm, and actually all I've always said to me, you grow your business from event to event. Events have changed my business. Events have changed my life, and I encourage you all to plug into everything they have for you to be a part of. Next is having long-term vision and having that mindset. When someone tells me they are going to try, I'm like, okay. But when somebody tells me they're going to do it, they do it. And I hope that you leave here deciding that you're going to do it. Because you will if you decide you will. There's been many times where I have grown very quickly, and there's been times where I have not. But I have learned that fast success can give you an ego, whereas slow success will build your character. A life-changing moment for me was my first convention where I saw all of the pioneers. I sent a video to my husband. I said, look at all these people. They've been here for almost as long as I've been alive. I asked one of the people later what advice they had for me, and they said, show as many people as you can the overview. And now the overview is easier than ever. I can't even imagine having to use a cassette tape. I mean, that is impressive. I'm really glad I don't have to do that though. So, it hit me that they have just shown the overview to more people. If I think about showing the overview to 1,000 people, that is extremely overwhelming. It does not seem doable at all. But if I think about showing the overview to 5 people a day, it seems like something I might can handle. This is one of my favorite parables, or stories, I don't know what it's called. It all started when a young girl was walking along a beach upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to eat starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean. People watched her with amusement. She had been doing this for some time when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You cannot save all these starfish. You can't even begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed and defeated. But after a few moments, she bent down, she picked up a starfish, and she hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. She looked at the man and she said, "Well, I made a difference to that one." The old man looked at the girl inquisitively and thought about what she had said, and then he reached down and he threw a starfish back into the sea. Others soon joined until all the starfish were saved. This is not an exact analogy because you just can't pick people up and throw them into your enrollments. I wish you could. But there are parallels here. Not every person you approach will enroll. Not every person you enroll will build a business. Not every person that decides to build a business will achieve director or senior director. But you have the ability to make a difference to every single life you touch. You can make a difference. And then sometimes people come alongside you and they do what you do and they start making a difference with you. I hope you decide today that you're going to find your starfish. I hope you start making a difference or continue making a difference, enhancing lives, to build the legacy. The way I look at it, you have two options. You can do it now or you can regret it later. I hope you choose to do it now.